Now, from WBZ Sports, this is Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria.
Well, here we are. Welcome, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. I'm Steve Burton. The Cinderella story continues. Everything just keeps going right for the Patriots. For 4 wins a year ago to 16 and counting, the Pats are back in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, I'm going to repeat that. The Pats are back in the AFC Championship game, and it's a throwback matchup as they take on the Broncos in Denver this Sunday. Ernie Adams alongside Christian Fauria, and here we go. Before we even talk about Denver, let's just talk about the snow game that just happened, because things just turn out right for the Patriots in the snow. They just do well in the snow.
Listen, playoff games in the snow are magic. Okay,
He's right.
They're
magical.
They're magical.
Well, I mean, I hated playing in the snow. There's nothing magical about it, but I always did feel like we had an edge. I felt like I did. Whether it was real or not, I don't really care. But I remember waking up, sometimes on a Sunday morning, and instead of Santa Claus bringing presents, there was a bunch of snow on the ground, right? Playing against Peyton Manning, playing against those dome teams, playing against those teams who had really good defenses, and you wanted to slow them down. The snow, in my mind, was a great equalizer.
He brings up defense, and we heard all week about how great the Houston defense was. And don't get me wrong, they were very good. But what about the Patriots defense?
Hey, they played extremely well. I mean, they were dominated the game. It's the old defense wins championships, and I mean it's really, because sometimes. Your offense, hey, you get bad weather day, you're putting the ball on the ground, which is not good. You don't turn on. Your defense is going to be, they're going to be able to play. Defense loves bad weather,
Because it's sloppy.
Slippery balls gives them a chance to go for it.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's and they took full advantage of it.
Yeah, I think a couple of things that are in the Patriots' favor defensively is they got healthy at the right time, and they hunt. They got some hunters. They hunt for the ball. They're aggressive. They go downhill. They're technically sound, and I think they're strongest up the middle. Like Milton Williams is a difference maker, for obvious reasons. The fact that Spillane and Ellis and all those guys have been getting healthy at the right time, I think is a big part of why they're so dominant.
Drake May, 4 fumbles. You got to take care of football. You got to take care of the football. Now, he delivered. He still delivered. He comes up big when he has to. But now you got to play against a Denver defense. It's these guys come after you.
Hey, there's a reason. When you get a day like it was Sunday, it's cold, there's precipitation, you tell your team, hey, the number one issue in today's game is ball security. Because Christian would tell you, those balls, they're rock hard, they're a little slippery to start out with. You get some precipitation on there, and you saw what happened. It's hard. It can be hard to hold on to, but you've got to put extra focus. On that.
Yeah, and I will say those turnovers, they're way too many, but they haven't really. Nobody's made them pay for it yet. Right. Chargers didn't make them pay for it. They had multiple opportunities. The Texans had multiple opportunities, and they couldn't capitalize on the opportunity, the short field, the extra possession. The Patriots' defense had a lot to do with that as well, but that can't continue. They can't, and listen, I know Bo Nix isn't there, whatever. They can't allow that to be an advantage for another team, because I just feel like eventually, I don't care who you are, it catches up to you.
You said at the start, the Cinderella season, we do not want to end with a pumpkin. Okay?
I get it. You're right.
That's really important. And I will say that we know earlier in the season, Coach Vrabel said, when you win is when you coach harder. This is the week to do your hardest coaching, okay? Because it's oh boy, we're this, we're that. Hey, you got to bring everybody down to earth. Focus, hey, this is about ball security.
Right.
We're not, up in La La Land, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's ball security. And this it's a great
coach harder.
It's actually a good opportunity. It's a coaching opportunity to really, get on you guys tough, make them focus, understand, hey, guys, we go, to me, when you fumble the ball, it's 50-50 who's going to recover. Okay? Though if a good team and a bad team, that bad team still got a 50% chance of recovering the ball. You just can't let it happen. And just like we saw happen against the Steelers.
Right.
And, the games are 60 minutes, and when they're over, they're over. So you can't go giving other teams opportunity. Oh, my God, they got 3 touchdowns, and it's over.
Are you surprised you're leaving on Saturday and not Friday?
To be honest with you, I've been involved in doing it both ways.
You have?
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
I can't argue with them because they're 8-0 on the road, right? So they're perfect on the road.
I mean, we've won games in Denver going on Saturday. I mean, at times it's nice, if you go on Friday, just go out and take a couple of nice long walk on Saturday. But I don't really think you get acclimated. And Christian, who has lived in that environment, I don't think you get acclimated in one afternoon taking a walk.
No, I'm so glad you said that, because we keep talking about this elevation and how it impacts you. It doesn't. It doesn't. I played I feel like I'm uniquely qualified because I played there.
Right.
Then I went to Seattle for 7 years, and every year we would go to Denver. And in the beginning, it was like, the air is thinner, but in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh my God, the ball's so hard to catch because of the elevation. What am I going to do? Like, no, it's hard to. I think it's harder to play in Miami in September than it is Denver in the wintertime. The hardest part is their fans are smart, they're loud as heck, and they're usually good.
And they're usually good. I mean, what I remember going out to play, when they had Peyton Manning, it was unbelievable. When they had the ball, and he was up there at the line of scrimmage, you just heard a hush come over the stadium.
You hear everything.
So Peyton could do his part. I mean, they're smart. They know when to make noise, and they know when to be quiet.
When to shut up.
And I am sure that they're smart enough to understand that, going with a backup quarterback this week, the fans are really going to have to be, extra smart. So
and extra loud.
Extra loud. And this is a game you tell your team, there's 76,000 of them, there's 53 of us. You got to bring your own energy. And there's nothing like playing well and shutting them up.
I just remember when everybody shut up, you heard Omaha. Omaha.
Yeah.
Omaha. Welcome back to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're here at the whiteboard. We're talking red zone. We're talking Stephon Diggs, 7-yard touchdown with 3 minutes to go in the first half, right?
Right.
And let me tell you something. Big play, pinpoint accuracy, and great hands.
Right. And there's you always hear people talk about, you get down in the red area, things happen faster, and the holes get smaller.
Okay.
And this is a great example of both. Okay? Because what happens, first of all, set the scene with the Texans defense. They're playing cover one. Which is man-to-man with a free safety. Okay. So if you're out in the middle of the field, that safety, he's going to be back in center field, basically.
Right.
But
in the red zone,
there is no center field. So you're
playing shortstop.
Right. This is like, think of it, if the situation, it's a one-run game, you may bring,
everybody up.
Bring everybody up.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I mean, if they hit
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
So what happens here, they're in cover one, but this safety is basically sitting right on the goal line. So essentially, he becomes an extra linebacker.
Okay.
Because he's playing at linebacker depth. And you asked the question before we came, did he throw in the double coverage? Well, what happened was, because he's sitting so shallow, the safety, he was able to break over on the throw, and he almost, it was close to being double coverage because he was over there so fast.
But that was his job, right? His job is, he's just free, but he's
free at linebacker depth. And where this is first of all, it's a great job here by Drake May, because
does he look him off?
You don't have time to look him off.
Oh.
This is going so fast.
You don't have time to look him off.
And what you don't have time to do, let me take a double check. No, you have to see as it's unfolding. You just see it and throw it. And this is really, if you think of it, if you ever watch, on TV, some of those Formula One races where the camera's right over the driver's shoulder. That's how fast it's going. You don't have time to be thinking and analyzing. It's just see it and do it.
Do it.
And this was, big. It's a big time pro throw for Drake.
Right.
So what we have here, Diggs comes over in motion.
Right.
So the corner's coming with him.
So you're in man.
It's man coverage, and you make the corner play on the move. The corner can't just go line up, set his feet. I got one-on-one press coverage. I got to be moving.
He's got to run with him.
He got to run with him. He can't really get set. Great move by Diggs, comes off. He pushes him, gets up here to 5. To give him just a little shake to the inside, comes in, and the ball is right there just before this safety gets there.
Yeah.
So it's big-time execution.
So where was this guy? Was this guy on the outside of Diggs?
He was just slightly to head up the outside. But the biggest thing was because he's moving, he can't really just get his feet set to just play. It's you're making him play on the move. And what they have here, so they got a back in the backfield who's in the flat right now.
So who's got him?
So the linebacker. So he's running out here.
He's got a man.
That'll open up the hole. And the tight end has a big assignment on this. And I know, Christian, we used to call this ram pass. It's a take 2. Your inside release, and you just want to. If you just make in this case that safety freeze his feet for half a count.
He gets there late.
That's huge. He's getting there late. So everything has got to go right. And so I'm sure that what happened is they studied film of Houston in the red area.
Right.
They said, wow, this play looks like it could be good. They showed the players the film of this, in the red area meeting. Hey, we're going to run this. We're going to run this play. Here's the hole that's scoping up. The execution has got to be precise, which it was. But
Diggs made a heck of a catch too.
That was a big part of it too.
Diggs made
that's and some.
And so it's a hand. There's no bobbling.
Right.
Catch it in your hands. And get the ball put away before that safety gets over there to knock it out. But that's what you're dealing with throwing in the red area in the National Football League. Holes are tight. Things happen faster. This is why we always told the quarterback, if you're back there, late throws in the red area, sometimes somebody will come open, but late throws in the red area a lot of the time turn out to be disasters.
So this was going to Diggs the whole time, correct?
He's basically,
Does it ever go to the tight end?
I would say this: you never know. Like Vrabel caught a bunch of my touchdowns, and he was never the number 1 read. Okay, so I would just like to add that for context.
You have they don't call plays. They don't. You may call a play where Diggs is the primary guy, but it's up to the quarterback to see who's open. For instance, if this linebacker doesn't get out on the back, he could come wide open.
Right.
So I mean, you got to read it. When you're running a route, you have to run. You can never be surprised by the ball. It's totally unacceptable for a receiver to say, I didn't think he was going to throw to me. That is a no-no.
No.
Yeah. The quarterback knows.
When that happens, you get benched.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Welcome back, everybody. We're here at the whiteboard to discuss what actually happens at halftime. Ernie, take it away.
So, the first thing you have to understand is that National Football League games are tightly scripted and timed.
Okay.
For television. I mean, there's a guy on the sideline in an orange hat. And when he crosses during the game, when he crosses his arms, you're not playing football, because
he's got the power to just stop everything.
Because the guys in it's a commercial break. When it's time, when the commercial break's over, when he gives the wind a millisecond later, the referee's going to start the play.
So
clock
one guy does that.
Right? And
the orange guy.
And he will have the bright orange hat down there. So so when the teams are off the field, they start the clock running. It's a 12-minute halftime. And you have people, you're in the locker room, and how much time you're dealing.
So hold on. When the whistle goes down to 0, okay. You got that's when the clock starts? Because you got to go to the locker room.
Sprinting.
It'll be pretty soon. If they get the teams out, off the field, there's a little
leeway.
A little leeway, not a lot.
Okay, but it's 12 minutes.
But when the clock starts running for 12 minutes, because they have it timed up. You go to the network show.
Right. Checking on all the scores.
But they know exactly how much time they've got.
Okay.
So first thing, you get the team in the locker room. And this is a time players is, and I'm sure you're going to, if you need something, you need to go see the trainer, you need to go see the equipment man, you go do it right away.
Yep.
You need, you need to, go use the men's room, whatever.
Number one thing to do.
Number one.
Right to the bathroom.
Right to the
Packed
bathroom.
house, waiting room only. Yeah, every stall
The
is
bathroom,
filled.
every
Yes.
stall.
And this is.
Every stall is taken.
And this is why, okay, look, the locker room at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, there was a grand total.
There was what? One toilet?
One toilet.
Oh, well, I
Oh, my goodness.
the old Colts stadium, like they had no doors. All the toilets were like just out in the open.
People want to just go to the bathroom.
Hey, so I mean, that's number one.
Yeah.
And while that's going on, this is a chance for the coaches. You got a couple minutes, get them together. Hey, this is what's working. This is what isn't working. This is what we need to do.
So does the offense all get together on one side? Defense?
Basically, you'll have the locker room will be organized. The locker room at Gillette Stadium, it's kind of long.
Yeah.
Offense will be at one end. Chairs will be set up in front of a blackboard. Defense will be at the other end. And you're going through. Hey, this is what we need to cover here.
Okay.
At halftime, if you need to make a change, it's much easier to make a change in that environment where it's set up more like a classroom than trying in the chaos over on the bench.
Do they watch film at halftime?
No,
God, there's no
illegal.
time.
It's illegal?
It's illegal.
Oh, you can't watch film.
You get your
Even with the
little
Microsoft tablet?
Yeah. Listen,
You can't watch film.
you're gonna get your wrist
hand slapped.
slapped.
Okay.
In a big way. So, and this is where. I would, when I was there, I would have about a 30-second meeting with Bill, and because we'd been together for 50 years, we could change the game plan in 30 seconds.
Really?
Sure. We need, I'll give a great example, just one of my favorites. We're playing the Jets, I think it's 2015 when Rex Ryan's there, and they're killing us running pass rush games. And so I go to Bill, and I said, Bill, they're killing us on these games. And he gave me his classic, are you kidding? As in, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
But I said, and the reason they're killing us on the games is because our splits on the offensive line are too wide. They got too much room to run the games in there. He could take that.
You told him the reason why.
He was gone. He went right to the offensive line and he said, "Hey, this is what we're doing here. We're going to tighten these down." So I mean, it's the ability to communicate fast during a game is really important.
I know we don't got a lot of time, but I always thought it was chaotic and hectic. When the coaches who were up in the booth, especially on a away game, literally had to sprint
down to the locker room.
Sprint back because what if somebody's in the elevator? What if it doesn't work? And what if you have the ball first and you're on offense? Talk about that real quick because I know we got a break.
Listen, and there's some place like at the old Mile High in Denver.
Yeah.
You had to walk through the category. You didn't even. If you're upstairs, you're not coming down. So what you do is, if you have something to say, you get on the phone.
Okay.
Before the guys on the side go to the locker room because that's your chance to communicate.
Because you'll never make it down and up in 12 minutes.
No, right.
That's great stuff.
No, you have no chance.
Okay, so we're running out of time. So what do you got?
So basically, after that, you get split up offense, defense.
Yeah.
You got a couple minutes. Go over what you're going to do. If Bill, before the team goes out in the field, you'll bring the team up for maybe 30 seconds. Word from the head coach. The official comes and knocks on the door. Hey, we're leaving.
Yeah.
And
get out there.
And you're gone.
Yeah.
So you get a lot done, but it's got to go pretty fast.
And one thing I learned: go to the bathroom.
Quick. Be there first.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We all know it's a big game on Sunday, and the Denver Broncos will be without their starting quarterback, Bo Nix. Jared Stidham is in, and we all know about Jared Stidham, don't we, Ernie?
Yes, I mean, we drafted him at the Patriots. We had him there for a couple of years, and then, of course, Josh McDaniels had him at the Raiders. So, I mean, he's got a lot, there are a lot of people, at the Patriots, who know Jared.
What do you think his best traits are as a quarterback? Like, what does he do well and what does he struggle with?
Because the biggest thing he's going to struggle with is just the fact that he has not had that much opportunity to be out there playing, real game, regular season championship games, with the bullets flying, full speed.
No, I know. But as far as from a technical side, did he have a hard time picking up zone blitzes?
I mean,
he's a smart quarterback, right?
He's a smart quarterback. But again, I'm with you. The biggest thing is, for him is, I will say, I'll bet you dollars to donuts what Sean Payton will do. The first thing is, Jared, give me your 10 favorite passes that you feel comfortable throwing in a critical situation in the fourth quarter. So you want him to feel, hey, I'm running the stuff I know the best. It's not necessarily the plays that Sean Payton has drawn up this week. The veteran quarterback can pick up. You want him doing the stuff that he's the most comfortable.
Yeah, you're building up his confidence.
Just the same way, what's critical for the Patriots in this game is going to be going out and just playing New England Patriots football. So
with a new quarterback like that, you want to rattle him, right? You want to rattle. I mean, they're going to probably bring the house on this guy, right?
But they've run a fair number of blitzes as it's gone along anyway. So you may have a new blitz on him, but you just want to be out there playing the stuff that you know the best. That is, it's like, I'll give you, for instance, the Broncos, they had to, move the ball and come from behind,
right.
Against Buffalo last week. And for 15 years at New Orleans, Sean Payton had one of his favorite play in long yardage, the play that he feels comfortable call. They get 3rd and 11. It's 22 dagger X shim. Well, by God, it's 22 dagger X shim. And they hit it. They hit it. So you're having players be able, in critical times, do the stuff that they know best is really important.
He hasn't thrown a football in almost 3 years.
Well, in a game, yeah.
In a game.
And I agree with Ernie. It is different, but listen, he's got some good weapons on the outside. They don't have much of a running game, and they got a really good offensive line as pass blockers, but not as run blockers. So it's weird. How do you have all those all pros, but you're not very good run blockers?
Are they expecting Dobbins back this week?
I would say no. He's coming off of Liz Frank. I doubt that he's going to be here.
About 5 seconds left. Prediction.
Patriots win. Close game.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying. All right, that's going to do it for this week.
Get your tickets.
Glad you joined us for Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. You can find us anytime on YouTube. So long, everyone.